Okay, welcome everybody. Just check. Okay. So we are live. And okay. Okay, well, so welcome everybody to JHipster Code. I'm very happy to see so many people, so many friendly faces, with masks. Yes, mask is mandatory, unfortunately, but that's the way it is now. I hope people on YouTube can see us. If they can hear us, if there's any issue, well, send a comment and try to do something. So we are 35 people at the moment, with maybe a few more people arriving. So we'll be like 40 today, which is good for hackathon. And we are very happy to be in Locomotive in Bordeaux. So that's the first time we do it here, and we do something outside of Paris. So that's exciting. We've got quite a lot of things to share with you today. Try to be brief. Sorry, the mask is really annoying. I didn't test this mask before. I should have. Oh yes, sorry. Everybody's got like 3 or 4 masks at the entrance, and 1 bottle of gel. So please take them. I will not take them back. I took everything from Paris. I will not take them back in my suitcase. So please take them. Yes, let's get started. So first of all, oh, come on. Thank you. No? Oh shit. Sorry. Of course. I don't know what happened. Just lost focus. So welcome everybody. First of all, yes, just to start, a word from our sponsors, because they help us organize this conference. Do you want to do Ipon? Do I do Ipon? Can do. What do you want? So the first sponsor is Ipon.
So the first sponsor is Ipon. Ipon is a consulting agency in digital, cloud, and data. And since 2013, Ipon sponsors JHipster. So I started Julien work at Ipon. And since this year, Ipon sponsors JHipster every year. So by giving time to contribute, by sponsoring the JHipster Code 2 years. And this year, Ipon sponsors JHipster Code. And there will be an important event at which will be at Twitch TV about the hexagonal architecture. So thank you.
Oh yes, for the people on YouTube, this will be remotely accessible for free. So if you want to join, you can join this event from anywhere in the world, and not just physically. The other tracks will be physical, of course. But there is one event that is live. No, there's 2 events, because we have Migrating this afternoon. Yes. Migrating will do something at 3 o'clock CET, so Central European Time. And it will be also remotely, because Matt is not there. He's in the US. Just one word from me from Ipon. It's my former company, so I'm very happy to be still with you. And what is fun is that my current company is also a sponsor. So both my former and current company are sponsors, so that's cool. The second sponsor is a bit specific. It's Heroku. So Heroku helps us something every year. They pay for the food tonight. So tonight we all go to the restaurant and they pay for the food. And they have a video, so I need to, sorry. It's the last time I do it. Just wanted to play the video.
Good morning, JHipster Code. This is Manuel from Heroku, and we are proud to once again sponsor a JHipster event this year. We admire your love for developer productivity and experience, as well as the positive impact that all of you have on the Java ecosystem. This is what gets us up in the morning as well. We would have loved to join you in person, but we were not able to make it due to the pandemic. I hope we will be able to see each other next year, though, and we wish you a great conference at the event. Cheers!
And whoa, wrong thing. Yes. I wasn't expecting to have the laptop to the other side of the room. So yes, so Heroku pays for the dinner tonight, and like every year, us. It's a very good sponsor from Hipster. Yeah, if you didn't know the person, is the new Java leader at Heroku, Joe, who was who is still our friend, became his boss. So he's still with us, but differently. My sponsor is my company, of course, Microsoft. Microsoft just sponsored the diversity ticket. So we have several women who had tickets thanks to it, because diversity is a core value at Microsoft. And one of the things, well, both at Microsoft and in JHipster, the issue we have is that we don't have enough women in tech. And well, one of the solutions we have is just to push women. So we buy them tickets. We have some specific tracks today for beginners, for helping people getting started. And we hope that it will help to have more women in tech and more women in JHipster, which is it's a common problem. It's not just JHipster or Microsoft, it's the world IT industry, which is like that. So we try to change it, and hopefully we will. I just wanted to share 2 stories because it's the end of the sponsors, and I'm very proud of the JHipster community. We are more in community than a technical project in the end, because we all know each other, we all do things together. And I have 2 stories which I loved this year, so I just wanted to share them with you. And then Deepu and Pascal will do the more technical stuff about JHipster 7 and what's new. But I wanted to share those 2 stories because I'm very proud and very happy about them. The first one, I don't know if how many of you follow this story. Stefan Nagy is a person from Kenya. He contacted us a few months ago, and he had some issues. So he lost his job because of COVID-19. And it was weird because basically he was working with our bug bounties to get money to pay his medication. And he told us that story. And we told him that that's not right. You should not, use JHipster to get your money, to get your medication, because we don't want you to die just because you didn't correct your bug. It was like crazy. So as soon as we learned it, we tried to help him. And so many people in the community just send him money. People they did not know him, they just send him money because he's a friend. Or maybe even they don't know him, but they just send him money because he's a contributor. He didn't only wanted to have free money, we blocked some bug bounties for him just to help him. And many of us tried to help him, we tweeted that he was looking for a job and so on. And so I think he had proposals from 2 or 3 companies, but there's one which hired him, which is a US company which is called Newware. So Patrick Punis, the CEO, is a friend, but he's working with people. I met him a few years ago. So it's also a company doing JHipster, and so they hired him. And just ago, he told me, so now he can buy his medication, everything is being better for him. So I'm very happy about that because we can, very strangely, we have a friend in Kenya and we could help him get his medication and get a job. And that's something I'm very happy with. I'm going to remove that because it doesn't work very well. It was the first story. My second story, which I love, so it's a French thing. In French, we've got the scout. So it's not exactly like in the US, it's not Boy Scouts and so on, it's just scouts in France. And the scouts, it's mostly young children, starting at 6, so very, very young children. There are nearly 100,000 of them, and they go, in camp, and they do stuff in the nature, and that's very nice. I have many friends doing that. And they contacted me a few weeks ago, and so it's all volunteer. It's like the JHipster org, it's a non-profit. People do that every time. To build a specific app as a volunteer, so they wanted to do that fast. But that app is very important. It's for all the alerts in the camp. So alerts is children who are getting lost. So when you lose a 6-year-old, it's probably not very nice experience. It's also for COVID-19, with so many children that got COVID issues like all the time. And it went live this summer, so definitely JHipster helped to save lost children and ill children, so that's something that I like, of course. Who doesn't like helping young children? And they went live this summer, and the companies were very happy, and they were going to do more applications with JHipster, so it's another story that I like. So we help also young children who are getting lost in the woods, which is probably not very fun for them. That were my 2 stories, and if you're okay, Deepu and Pascal, we've got now what's next for JHipster. So I guess everybody knows Deepu and Pascal. So I give you my, you just push the big button.
Yeah. Okay, so for compared to the previous releases, I think JHipster 7 doesn't have a lot of new fancy stuff. It's more of a lot of internal changes and a lot of small things. So some of the prominent ones are JHipster Control Center, for example. So it's going to be a new application. So it's kind of a bit similar to registry, but much more modern and much more capable. So it will have 4 modes to support microservices, like the standard Eureka, like in the registry. It will also support console, Kubernetes, and static URIs. It will also be a central place where you will manage all your applications, either be microservices or monoliths. So if you have multiple JHipster applications or microservices, whatever, you can connect everything to your control center, and it will act as the central place from where you can access all your Swagger UIs, the management part, the administration part, and stuff like that. So it is currently under development, headed by Pierre. It's coming up quite well. I think, Pierre, did we have a beta yet?
It's already released on the Docker Hub.
Yes, so it's already available on Docker Hub. So please do check it out and try it out and give us feedback. So we really need feedback in order to see how well this is received, and if this satisfies all the needs that, especially for registry users, so that we can see what direction we need to go, especially in terms of whether we have to support both or whether we can deprecate registry and make this the primary, microservice management tool. So that is the one of the major stuff for JH7 that we are doing. Another important thing we did for 7 is migrating from Protractor to Cyprus. Probably any of you who have worked with Protractor would know that it was great, but it's not the most friendly thing to work with. It's quite flaky, and yeah, more often than not, you'll have a lot of issues and you'll spend a lot of time trying to find out why certain things are flaky. So Cyprus seems to be a much more stable alternative. It supports E2E, of course, and you can also do unit testing with that if you like. So you can, if you want, you can use the same framework to do both, all your front end and JavaScript testing. It's much more easier to set up and much more easier to write tests. There are no much external dependencies. It provides everything that you need to work with E2E testing. It provides a very nice dashboard, as you can see here. It's a test runner UI, which you can use to debug your tests, record and replay your test, and much more. Multiple browser supports and everything within the same dashboard UI. I think they also have a cloud version which you can subscribe to and upload your test and all those other fancy stuff you want. So this is much more capable than Protractor. Can also do some time travel, live reloads, and these kind of things. So much more useful in development as well. So another major thing is JDL Studio V2. So it's I'll show you a small demo of what it does. It's a complete rewrite from scratch. We used to have a bit of a legacy code base for that. It was built. I don't remember when I built it the first time, probably 5 years ago. After that, it didn't change much. It stayed almost as it is. So it's a complete rewrite from scratch with React, Redux, TypeScript, and Webpack. Quite modern architecture, much more easier to maintain and much more faster. All the libraries are updated, removed a bunch of custom stuff. Most of the rendering and everything is now directly done by dependencies. There is no more custom rendering parsers and stuff that we have to maintain. The old JDL Studio would only handle entities. This can also handle applications, show entities, group by applications, and everything. Better visualizations, more options for visual, themes. Of course, light and dark themes. Everyone wants light and dark themes nowadays. So more directives. I can quickly show you. I have a hosted version. What? Sorry.
You want help?
Yes, I'm not a Mac. Yeah, I definitely need help.
Yes. On the mic, it's awful. Awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, you have Google. Oh, yeah. But I need to type.
That's quite.
You want me to type?
Typing is fine.
So for people on YouTube.
Okay, your keyboard is really weird.
Yes, it's a French keyboard.
Please.
You are in French.
Where is the dot? I don't see dot.
Dot. Hang on. Where are you?
No, labs.github.io. I have never used a French keyboard.
It is.
So, yeah. Yes, so we have this new. Okay, now I need to move the mouse there. Yeah, okay, I got it. So you can have templates. So the idea is to provide even more templates to begin with. So you can if you're starting something, you can start with the template. And of course, we have the default template that we used to have, but it's not very fancy anymore. This other ones are much nicer. So as you can see, you can group entities by application. So do give some more feedback on like what more would be nice to show here from an application perspective. Currently, just the client authentication and database is shown. You can change the ranking of the graph. I mean, more visible if you have a bigger graph. So you can change the ranking. You can change the graph direction and these kind of stuff. And of course, themes. So
it's better for
be
the video.
faster. And also you have
you should have auto completion. That's it.
it's like templates in auto completion. Okay, something is.
Next, provide a name.
No, it should show.
Oh yes. I don't know why. So we still need help to fix.
Yes, there are still some rough edges. Okay, it's supposed to be templates. I need to check why it doesn't work. It was working. Let's check last. Yeah, so that's more about it. Okay.
Hang on,
Slide.
yes, I'm going to give you the slides back. And I'm going to try to fix the mic because people on YouTube tell me the mic doesn't work well. But I'm not sure I can do anything because it just keeps coming back. There's like a bug on YouTube Live. Should work.
Yeah, it works now. And yeah.
Yeah, the mic is.
So about blueprints, as you might know, we have quite a lot of official blueprints. Some of the stable ones, as you probably might have used them already. So Kotlin is quite stable. It supports most of the core options already. Future plans are to add suspend for reactive and Ktor and Kofu support. These are planned for Kotlin. And .NET Core is also quite stable. Blazor is planned. There is already a PR in the works. And migration to JHipster 7 and Vue.js support is also planned. Node.js one is also stable with most options already supported. In development are the new Micronaut blueprint. It's already in alpha. A lot of options are already supported, and we have direct contributions from Micronaut teams. Very happy for that. For the Quarkus one, app and entity generator along with import JDL already works, and it's in beta. And I think today we'll have more development on the Quarkus generator thanks to Joe. We started a Svete blueprint. It has development started, and we also started a blueprint for JOQ. So, and we have plans for a Go blueprint. Started some experiments and design for that. So hopefully these would be released soon, and we'll have more. So I'll hand it over to Pascal for the remaining.
So about Vue.js. So currently in the JHipster 6, we have two separated projects. We have the Journal of JHipster and we have the Blueprint Vue.js. So after discussing with the team, after discussing with the community, after using Vue.js in a real project for company, we decide to merge the blueprint Vue.js into main generator Hipster. So for JHipster 7, we have 3 options now for the front-end framework. We have Angular, React, and Vue. So I think it's fair. So just let's play a game. Who can guess which screen is Vue? Because there are one screen for React, one screen for Angular, and one screen for Vue. So who can guess?
On the right.
Bottom left. Yes.
It's not fair, Pascal. I had the React one quite recognizable with a logo on the other side.
I changed it.
It's not fair.
It would be too easy. So it's Vue, at the middle it's Angular, and the right it's React. So it's far similar. So but you can see some difference, but it's similar. So next. So about this subject, I think it's an important subject because it has been discussed a lot in the ticket, and it is something which is a lot of important in company. So it's still in discussion. So what the goal of this ticket is to generate a JHipster project, to refactor it, to use an hexagonal architecture, and with this we can use some showcase about the aggregates, entity, value object, domain event. It's still in discussion, so you're welcome to discuss with it. So we don't know if we should have it for JHipster 7 or not, or start a blueprint. We need to decide. The main value of this ticket is to have a clean architecture, because in a real project for company, I think it's important. So if we start to implement it, it will be easy for us to separate the generate code and the business code. So with this, it will be easy to upgrade your code with JHipster. So this subject, it will be in live stream in Twitch TV. So with Colin and Anthony. And about another stuff for JHipster 7, what is already done is Spring Boot 2.3, Java 11, so already done. We have a preacher for Java to format all the generated code too, and it will be by default. We have already merged the JHipster code into the generator JHipster. We have a Spring Fox 3. We remove all the audit page because we found it's not very important to have. We remove the support of yarn too. And another important thing is the incremental leaky base. So we should be able to generate the diff on changelog in leaky base instead of erasing all the existing changelog. And what is in progress is a change to PostgreSQL by default instead of MySQL. We should have the composite primary key support too, but the work is already started but not finished yet. And we should have the Angular key support too. So about the engine now.
Sorry. Put the mic here. Thank you, Pascal, and thank you, Deepu. Lots of things arriving in JHipster 7. Lots of things I would have liked to do, but I don't have the time to do everything, and I'm so happy that you help and you do instead of me. That's really makes the community work and the project work, and I'm so happy that it works like that today. For this event, so we are going to code. We've got lots of tickets, lots of things. We are basically here now. So we are the registration. We had breakfast. There is still some breakfast, so please take it. We're going to do a presentation of the different tracks. For people watching on YouTube, there's one track, hexagonal architecture, which is available remotely. I will tweet. Yeah, please follow @JHipster on Twitter. I will tweet the links over there. So we will present the different groups, and after that, it's like coding time all day. We will have one break at noon for eating, of course. We will eat here. We will have one break at 4 o'clock to take coffee, because French people take coffee, of course. We will try to finish. So I put here, so 6:30 is like the end of it. We will finish probably a little bit earlier, just to talk, say, okay, do a summary of what happened. So maybe we will move that to 6 o'clock to finish coding. So we have half an hour to speak together and give feedback. And then we leave here at 6:30. You have some time to take a shower. Well, it's going to be very, very hot today, by the way. And after that, we've got dinner chez Jean. So I will also send you the address. It's not very far away. It should be a good restaurant. It's made by Aeroport again. And so I put end of the event at 11 o'clock, but there's no real end, Of course. I think that's it. Do you have any questions before we go to the tracks? It's cool for everybody? Yeah. Okay. So then let's do a presentation of the different group. I think we should start with Pascal and Deepu for the beginner tracks, because that's. Oh yeah. So we've got, of course, limited seats. So the idea is that we try to have a good number of people for each track. Not have a track with 10 people and a track with 0 people, because it's not even possible with COVID. We need to have, like, I would say maximum 6 people per table. And we've got 1 table per track, plus here, which is a big track. And also Colin will be in the room in the back. So there is enough tracks for everybody. Then we just need to share them equally. And I would say, so Pascal and Deepu will do the beginner tracks, 1 in English, French. And please keep those seats for people beginning, and then we'll see what's good for everybody. I'll let you begin. I don't know, Deepu, do you want to tell a little bit about your track?
It's a beginner track. There's nothing much to tell there. I mean, he did most of the work. I just piggybacking on that. So the idea is that there's a bunch of really easy to start with tickets. So if you want to be in the beginner track, then there are like 40 tickets there. Yes. Yeah. So there most of them should be really easy to get started. And Pascal has prepared a very neat and extensive guide on how to get started, the setup and everything. So I think probably we'll go through the guide once we start the actual track. So yeah, if you're joining that, then getting the setup is the hardest part. So once you have the setup, then the tickets are, most of them are like really easy to get started. So I hope that any of you joining the beginner track can at least do like 10 tickets each. Should be possible. More should be possible. Minimum 10 should be possible. So yeah.
Do you have bug bounties on your tickets or not?
I think that's something we didn't announce. So we didn't announce about any bug bounty, but what we discussed was that when a PR is submitted, based on the amount of work done on the PR, I think we'll start assigning bug bounties on the spot. So I think most of you will leave with some bounties if you're doing PRs. But it won't be fair to assign bounties on like every ticket, because then there might be too many tickets. So I think we'll start assigning bounties based on the PR. So once the PRs start coming in, we'll start assigning bounties on that. So yes.
Yes, for people who don't know bug bounties. It's true, we didn't expand.
Yeah.
So in Hipster, on the main project, we've got sponsors. Now we're making $60,000 a year in sponsor money. JHipster is a non-profit organization, so we don't really. We use that money for buying drinks or something, but we're not spending 60,000 euros in drinks every year. So we use that money to push the project further. What works really well is bug bounties. So we assign 100, 200, or 500, 300 or 500 euros to some tickets, depending on the difficulty, or also if they're very boring. Because what we realize is that everybody does this for fun. So when we have something very boring, nobody wants to do it. And so those tickets might be easy but very boring, and so we put money on it. And since we've started doing that, well, it solved a lot of issues that we had before. So that's the normal work of the project. We just give money for complicated or annoying bugs. And today, the project is still there as usual. So the bugs, you can get bounties. And we would be really happy if some people could walk away from the conference with more money than when they came, which would be also a nice story. So, well, hopefully we will share the bounties today. We didn't tell about an order for the tracks. Who wants to go next? No? I see you, Matthew. You want? It's the most complicated one. We go from beginner to the most expert.
It's not the most difficult one. It's actually not that hard, but not that easy either. Thierry and I will lead the developer experience track. I will focus on the GDL stuff because I know the stuff. And we work towards improving the generator by GDL. So we'll try to improve options and we'll hopefully not try to break things. That's the easiest part. The harder part will maybe if I have time to try to break stuff in the generator. That's the funniest thing.
Yes, so what we want to do is to attract more contributors, and in order to attract more contributors, it should be more easy to contribute. There are many blueprints and etc., and I think that we can improve the blueprint experience, the module experience, and so on.
It's mostly on the internet of JHipster that is very important. Mathieu is the one who created the GDL, like, I don't know, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
So
in my internship.
If you have any, yes, he was my intern when he was young. And me too. But yeah, if you have any questions on the GDL,
yep, I'll be there.
Is a guy. We good? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
My track will be about the API of JHipster and how to make it more RESTful. So I think we use some REST aspects in the JHipster API. So I would call it RESTish, but not RESTful. RESTful is a complete different way to do API than most of people do. So we will discuss about how we could improve the API of JHipster regarding REST.
Yeah, I'm always going to comment, I talk all the time. But no, we have a lot of work on the REST API because basically the current REST API is what I coded like 6 years ago. So I was very careful, but that was 6 years ago. So there is definitely improvement to be done on the REST API. I think it's a good part. Yeah.
So I'll be leading the Quarkus track. As Deepu mentioned, the Quarkus blueprint is in beta. It works, but there's a lot to fix still, and the tickets there range from very, very easy to fairly large, probably multiple days of work. So there's a lot of opportunities. I also would say if you just want to learn about Grail, learn about Quarkus, come learn about kind of some of the new stuff happening in the Java world. If you want to just come and learn Grail, that's cool too. You don't have to fix any JHipster stuff. And I think we have about $1,000 in bug bounties, and I get to add more today because it's September now. So, so we've got about $1,000 in bug bounties if you want to come look at it. One of them has 500, and probably somebody good with OAuth can fix that in a day. So lots of stuff to fix, lots of new things. And if you want to learn about native images, native VMs, Grail VM, come check it out.
Do you manage to create a production build with Grail VM and that it?
I have created a working native image.
Because I have it working, but not fully.
So I couldn't reproduce your bug. I tried. I have a native image that hosts the React site. And
I will go to his track. There's a lot of interesting work with Quarkus and Micronaut. So JHipster is not just about Spring Boot. But we will also have .NET and Node.js. But, it's a very interesting part of JHipster at the moment that we are not locked with one technology. We have different ones. It's a good way to play with them, learn about them. And when you work for a company, maybe you can take the best technology depending on your need. Maybe you want to do microservices, and well, you could have one in Spring Boot, one in Quarkus, maybe one in .NET. Who knows? and you could be able to do all of those with JHipster and not be just stuck with Spring Boot and Java, which is probably the main framework today, but there are alternatives, and it's interesting to be able to experience them. Who do we miss? Pierre.
My track would be about DevOps and cloud in general. If you're interested in Docker, Kubernetes, and this kind of stuff, and you want to join me, so you're welcome.
Pierre did a lot of work on the Docker and Kubernetes parts of JHipster.
No, it was not me.
Oh.
No, it was me.
You're doing a lot. You're probably the one who knows the most about Docker and Kubernetes with JHipster, I think, today. Did we forget anybody? I think we've got it. Hang on, we got. Oh, no, we don't have Colin. Where is he? Oh, he's over there. Okay. Well, we already introduced what he said. Colin is going to do the examiner architecture. So
Yes, we want it.
yeah, so we can. I mean, you don't see his face, but you can easily understand what he's going to work on. So it's mostly modifying the way you can work with JHipster. We have a lot of criticism on JHipster because we generate, so on the server side, we generate code separated by layer, by technical layer, which is what usually people do in Spring. So we do it for two reasons. So the first one is the usual way to do it. The second one is we don't generate a business project, we generate technical code. So we don't really know how we could generate like domain objects and so on. So Colin is one of the persons working on improving what we generate. I would say like the quality of the generated code. So to this, mostly having a look at how you can regenerate a project to have a single architecture. Have a look at how we can modify it, and then, well, is that successful? Well, we can then push it back to the generator. But that's, I would say, it's like research about how we could improve the generator. And that's very interesting because it's one of the main criticisms of the project. So. And I think we've got everybody. Did I forget anyone? No? I didn't count, but there should be 7 tracks. Okay, well, it's 43. We said we would finish at 40. You can see how good we are with timing. So my proposal is that we split up. I will close the YouTube live. There will be more streaming and so on, of course. And then just, meet everybody. Maybe the track leaders can come here and you can talk with them and you choose your track and then just go and work. If that's fine with you. Yes? Okay, well, thank you, everybody, and have fun. Oui,